Ghosts don't like being caught on camera, but when it happens, it is super creepy to watch. Gettysburg Battlefield is an important Civil War historical site, and a ghost hunter's paradise. You don't become one of the most haunted places in all of the United States for nothing, and visitors to the site have reported a whole series of experiences over the years. But is the battlefield actually haunted by the souls of past soldiers, or is it more paranoia? Well, allow me to elaborate. On a site known as a hotspot for ghost sightings is the wheat field, which saw some of the most brutal fighting in the battle, with 30% of the soldiers involved passing away. So it's not surprising that a lot of people have claimed to see the ghosts of soldiers here, still running around like they're still in battle. Looking to go even further and catch a ghost on camera was YouTuber Pulp Video, who set up a hidden camera to film the location overnight. And after combing through hours and hours and hours of footage, the account uploaded a 33-second clip, which it has some paranormal activity. Throughout this clip, footsteps can be heard, and we don't think anybody was present when it was filming. Also, when you're looking at the clip the first time, it looks fine. But after you rewatch it, like multiple times, and you pay attention to the background in the center, there appears to be a figure moving at about 26 seconds in, just before a flash of light can be seen. Sure, yes, there might be some skeptics out there being like, come on Alexa, this looks fake. There's plenty of other videos to back up the argument that this area is majorly haunted. There's another chilling clip captured by Greg Euling, who saw a lot of ghostly figures running about the fields. He said, "Then we saw these shapes moving in the darkness. They were the size of humans. One of them ran right through the cannon." Liv, known as @StayGoldenPonyBoy on TikTok, turns to an unlikely source for advice on dating or what to wear out. The ghost of a college-aged fraternity brother whom she calls Chad.
So Chad, can you turn off the flashlight? 3, 2, 1, turn off. Okay.
Liv has mentioned in interviews that from a very young age, she was really into the paranormal. She grew up in San Francisco, and the house she grew up in was haunted. Or that's what her mother told her. She would see an old woman in the basement of that house that her parents couldn't see. She'd be like, "Don't you see that old woman? She's standing in front of the closet." Now, eventually her parents were like, "Hey, I'm gonna talk to the landlord." They asked, and the landlord was like, "Oh, my mother died in that house, and I keep some of her stuff there. No biggie." Now, Liv's great-grandmother passed away, and 2 months after she did, Liv started seeing her in the house as well, and it made her mom upset because it was her grandmother, and she'd be like, "She's not really here." But then Liv was like, "Well, I think I'm kind of in tune with something spiritual." And as she got older, it kind of went away until college, until Chad. Liv first encountered this spirit friend in Boston, where she and her roommate accidentally manifested a spirit inside their old Back Bay brownstone. After noticing paranormal activity, the freezer door opening by itself, misplaced items, the record player turning on at random, the roommates named the friendly ghost Chad. After moving to LA and investing in ghost hunting equipment, Liv was able to confirm that Chad had moved with her. Now, almost, 5 years or more after meeting him, Liv shares little snippets of her hangouts with Chad, her beloved chatting sessions, to her almost 200,000 followers on TikTok.
Chad, can you say hi, hello, what's up? I just heard hi, Olivia.
She said that she was hearing footsteps in her bedroom when she moved to LA, and she was catching up on a vibe that something was going on. She described it as the whole feeling where it feels like something's watching you. She said she could feel eyes on herself, so then she bought the ghost hunting equipment because she was like, okay, I want to go with my friends, let's go looking. But then as soon as she got the equipment, she started testing it out in her apartment, and that's when Chad came through and was like, "Hey, it's me." So when we're talking about equipment, you're probably asking, what does she use to communicate with them? She uses a twist-on, twist-off flashlight. So you turn on the flashlight, not fully on, and that allows her spirits to go up and tap it. If they tap it, the light turns on. She also uses dowsing rods or divination rods. Sometimes she mentions that it's really wild when she holds it because she can feel the ends being pushed, like she can really feel somebody touching it. She's watched a lot of Ghost Adventures, Zach Bagans, love, and she has since acquired a spirit box and a REM pod. So when people were talking in her TikTok comment section, she was like, "Yep, we're doing it." She has mentioned that it is the same voice that comes through all the time, so it's very obviously Chad speaking through. It is a younger male voice. Every once in a while though, they do get a guest female voice that pops in to say hello. And what she finds super crazy is just the consistency behind each session, even when she's doing it off camera. Speaking of Zach, so he's been turning up the heat with some paranormal passion, because earlier this year, he was busy conjuring up the spirit of a haunted business's former madam, and the proof that he captured is kinda saucy. So back in May, there was an episode that aired where Zach goes goes to this Utah place of former body selling business, and he tries to lure its long deceased madam named Rose with a little cold hard cash. And then what happened next was kind of hilarious. I think we have the clip, so I'll let you watch it now. As you can see in the footage, Zach gets comfy on the bed waiting for Rose's spirit, but when she literally ghosts him, he calls in his buddy, Aaron Goodwin. He's like, okay, why don't you try it, take over for me. And it looks like Rose liked the idea. So their camera captured what they said was a human figure at the foot of the bed reaching for the money. And then all of a sudden, Aaron found himself in a ghostly embrace because the figure actually mounted his body, leaving everybody else giggling uncontrollably. Rightfully so. Zach told TMZ that he was awkwardly excited to see the movements of the spirit figure, to first see the spirit appear to grab the money, then fully mount my friend while grabbing the headboard, and then completely vanish after the business was done was incredible. He mentioned that they had never captured a scene like that in the history of the show, and he mentioned I'm still a little offended that I was turned down by the madam, but alright. Oliver Tatham and his sister Rebecca visited the grounds of Coombe Abbey for the Illuminate Light Trail before Christmas of last year with their granddad Eric. Now, Mr. Tatham was like, I'm gonna tell all my, young ones to look out for ghosts while they're walking the trail, just for funsies. Well, Oliver took the challenge seriously. He carefully checked out each window of the building. Suddenly, something unusual caught his eye. In one of the first floor windows, Oliver saw a woman standing very still. He said she looked as though she was wearing Victorian-style clothes with a white cap and apron over a black dress. Oliver said, when I saw this strange figure looking out of the window, staring at the garden, I took a photo on my mom's phone, which I was using to take pictures of the lights. I zoomed in as far as I could, and she was much clearer to my eye than in the photo. Oliver then called over his mom and his sister to look at it, and as he was doing so, the figure didn't move, but then she just suddenly disappeared. So, we've got Oliver and his granddad, and they researched Coombe Abbey ghosts when they got home, and they came across the sad story of Matilda, a former maid at the Abbey when it was home to the Craven family. Now, it's not the first time that it's been claimed that Matilda has been captured on camera. Investigators who visited in 2018 claimed to have seen a number of apparitions, including their very own image of Matilda. Now we just gotta wait on that video footage. And finally for today, producers of British ghost hunter show Most Haunted have spent 17 years, if not more, trying to capture footage of a proper, real specter. And back in 2017, they succeeded. Members of the TV crew were reduced to fearful tears after they spotted and managed to get on camera a transparent, ghostly figure ascending some stairs at an abandoned 17th century mansion in Yorkshire. The spine-tingling clip shows what appears to be a paranormal figure walking very slowly down a dark corridor at Wentworth House in South Yorkshire. So the TV show was at the mansion investigating reports of a ghostly presence inside the stable block, following dozens of unexplained sightings. Investigators Carl Beatty and Stuart Torvell managed to record the figure before chasing it down the hallway as it disappeared from view. Host Yvette Fielding was left sobbing after watching the clip and said the video was the show's most groundbreaking footage to date. She said, in the 17 years we've been doing Most Haunted, we've always wanted to capture a ghost on camera. We've got so many different kinds of phenomena, objects moving on their own, voices, but this is the first time that we've caught a man walking in what appears to be slow motion up the stairs. She said it was only when we edited it that I saw it and I burst into tears. I was properly sobbing. Well, that's all for today, folks. I've been Alexa, your resident ooky spooky girly. See ya!